In a quiet American town nestled along Route 66, the sound of roaring engines was nothing unusual. Bikers often passed through, stopping for coffee, gas, or a quick repair. But one small garage stood out: Kelly's Motors, run by Kelly Morgan, a woman known not just for her skill with engines, but also for her generous heart. Kelly had grown up around motorcycles. Her father was a biker, her brothers too, and she had learned to turn wrenches before she could even ride a bicycle. But what truly set her apart wasn't just her ability to rebuild a Harley Davidson from the ground up. It was the compassion she showed to those who rolled into her shop, broken down not only in machines, but also in spirit. One fall afternoon, the rumble of a Harley echoed weakly into her driveway. The bike was battered, scratched, and clearly neglected. On it sat a man in his 40s, with a weathered face and tired eyes. He wore a patched-up leather jacket, but his posture carried more weight than pride. Kelly stepped out from the garage, wiping grease from her hands. "Rough ride?" she asked gently. The man nodded, swinging his leg off the motorcycle. Up close, he looked even more worn down, not just from the road, but from life. His name, he told her, was Jack. He had once been part of a biker brotherhood, a rider full of dreams, but a tragic accident had left him broken. He lost friends, his job, and most of his hope. The Harley he rode was the last piece of his old life, and even it was failing him. Kelly inspected the bike and whistled softly. "She's in bad shape, but not beyond saving," she said. Jack sighed, rubbing his face. "I don't have the money to pay for this. I shouldn't have even stopped." That was when Kelly looked him straight in the eye and said words Jack would never forget. "Sometimes people just need a second chance. Consider this one on the house." Jack blinked in disbelief. He wasn't used to kindness, especially from strangers. "Why would you do that?" he asked. Kelly smiled faintly, her hands already moving toward her toolbox. "Because I've seen what bikes mean to people. Sometimes fixing the machine fixes the rider too." For hours, Kelly worked. With steady hands, tightening bolts, adjusting gears, and cleaning the engine until the Harley began to gleam with life again. Jack sat nearby, watching silently, tears welling in his eyes. No one had shown him this kind of compassion in years. When Kelly finally turned the key and the Harley roared back to life, Jack's shoulders shook. He gripped the handlebars, unable to speak at first. Then, with a broken voice, he said, "I'll never forget this." Kelly just nodded. "Then don't. Ride safe, Jack." Jack left that day with more than just a repaired Harley. He left with a spark of hope that maybe life still had roads worth traveling. And though years would pass, the memory of Kelly's kindness would remain engraved in his heart forever. Years passed, and life in the small American town rolled on like the steady hum of engines down Route 66. Kelly's Motors remained the same. A modest garage with its worn sign, the smell of oil and rubber, and Kelly herself still working long hours with grease on her hands and kindness in her heart. She often wondered about Jack, the broken biker she had once helped. Did he find his way back to happiness? Was he still riding the Harley she had restored for him? One crisp autumn morning, as Kelly was adjusting a carburetor, she heard it, the deep, unmistakable growl of a Harley Davidson rolling toward her shop. The sound pulled her back in time, making her chest tighten. She stepped out, half expecting to see Jack's familiar face. Instead, a younger man in his 20s climbed off the bike. He had Jack's same rugged jawline, the same leather jacket, style, and even the same tired eyes, but behind them was a determination that felt different. Kelly's heart skipped. "Can I help you?" she asked, wiping her hands on a rag. The young man smiled nervously. "Actually, I think I'm here to help you. My name's Ryan. I'm Jack's son." Kelly froze. Jack. The memory of the broken man with tears in his eyes and gratitude in his voice flooded back. "Your father. How is he?" she asked gently. Ryan's smile faltered. He swallowed hard. He passed away last year. For a moment, the sound of the highway faded into silence. Kelly felt her throat tighten. Though she had only met Jack once, his pain and gratitude had etched themselves into her soul. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. Ryan nodded, then his voice softened. "Before Dad died, he told me about you. He said there was a woman who fixed more than his Harley, that you fixed his spirit when he was at his lowest. He made me promise I would find you." Kelly blinked back tears, stunned. "He remembered me after all these years." "Every day," Ryan said firmly. "He said you gave him back his hope. He told me, son, if it weren't for her, I might not have had the strength to raise you the way I did." Kelly's hands trembled as she gripped the rag. She hadn't realized that one act of kindness had rippled so far. Then Ryan stepped closer, revealing something hidden in a saddlebag. It was a folded leather vest, Jack's old biker cut, patched with the name of his riding club and worn from years of travel. "He wanted you to have this," Ryan said, his voice breaking. "He said this vest carried the story of his road, and you're part of that story now." Kelly pressed the vest to her chest, overwhelmed. The weight of it wasn't just leather. It was memory, gratitude, and a legacy of hope. Tears streamed down her face as Ryan added, "And there's one more thing. Dad left me his Harley. He wanted me to keep it running, but only with your help." For the first time in years, Kelly laughed through her tears. "Then let's get to work," she said, motioning toward the garage that day. As the sun dipped low and the sound of tools echoed through the shop, a new bond was forged. The woman who once gave a broken man a second chance was now giving his son the same gift. A reminder that kindness never dies. It only rides forward on new roads.